Hey everyone, I'm Jay and I do stuff. Remember early 2000s Flash animation? I distinctly remember going on to Newgrounds every day starting around 2003-2004 give or take, to view and even play stuff people have made in Adobe Flash. But as of recording this video, all Flash-based media has been shut down after December of 2020, rendering all these animations and games unplayable. Is what I would say if Newgrounds hadn't created their own way of watching these old animations. From my understanding, they recorded the Flash animations and reposted them in a proper video format. So that's good at least. Anyways, I wanted to take the time to talk about one of my favorite Flash series, Perfect Kirby. Think of it as Perfect Dark, but with Kirby. But be forewarned, as there will be some blood and borderline gory stuff throughout this video. As gory as early 2000s Flash can get anyway. My channel is typically family friendly, but at the same time though, this is my channel. I can do whatever I please. I think I'm allowed to bend the rules at least a little from time to time. Made in 2002 by the user Pikanjo, made up of John and Richie Zerbis, who you might know for their work on the Nintendo series. Perfect Kirby was conceptualized by the idea of Kirby wielding a gun, as seen in Super Smash Bros. So they came up with the idea of having Perfect Dark, but with Kirby as I stated earlier. Now I know there are a lot of Kirby fans out there who are disgusted by Kirby having a gun and killing people.
How could you? Of all the terrible things you've ever done in your life, this is the worst, the most despicable. Until you decide what's more important, your gun or your family, we can't live in the same house. Come on, kids.
However, as a giant Kirby fan myself, I couldn't get enough of this stuff. Kirby being badass, and especially the writing and humor.
Oh my god! A pain!
Keep in mind, I was around 8 years old at the time, and I watched these at my elementary school. Yes, elementary school. I wasn't turned off or scarred in the slightest, but that's just me, I guess. Also, Kirby has officially used guns in Super Smash Bros. And don't tell me that doesn't count, because it does. Not to mention, Kirby commits mass murder in the actual Kirby games all the time. These enemies might as well be innocent bystanders, which gets even darker the more I think about it. Anyways, onto the actual series itself. The series starts out with Kirby being a vigilante for the city. Kirby's characterization in this series kinda reminds me of Homer Simpson in a way. He's dopey, lazy, and thinks he can do whatever he wants while still having a good sense of justice. Instead of sounding Kirby here has more of a regular teen, young adult sounding voice.
Is that really what it was like back in the 90s? Neil, what is so important that you had to wake me up this early in the morning? Hey, I got an idea. Let's play catch with this dead rat. Come on, it'll be fun. Catch.
Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I actually like this direction for Kirby. It's what I had his voice based on in my Kirby's Adventures in Dreamland series. Earlier on in the first episode, Kirby is contacted by the secret organization who are aware of all his deeds. He's then taken to their secret headquarters, which is Princess Peach's castle. But before that, Kirby is introduced to Neil, one of the agents. At first, he's played up to be this sort of cool mentor to Kirby, but he soon dives headfirst into comic relief territory.
Jeez, what a mess. Looks like Neil's last day. Hey.
Kirby is also introduced to the other agents, Phil and Professor $99. Why is he called Professor $99?
Because he's cheap.
Phil is the actual cool guy of the group. He does action and never takes no for an answer. Professor $99 is this kooky scientist who comes up with these wacky inventions.
Someone has stolen my latest experimental potion! What was it? My new flavor for Kool-Aid. Double cherry.
Aside from them, Kirby also meets up with more familiar characters throughout the series, like Mario, Luigi, Fox McCloud, Donkey Kong, Samus, and even Joanna herself from Perfect Dark. Though she appears pretty late in the series, there's this one flashback where she and Kirby are on a mission. King Dedede even appears. I feel this flashback would have made a great episode in of itself. You could have Joanna be a mentor for Kirby, showing him the ropes, while you can have King Dedede as the main villain for more Kirby familiarity. Throughout the series, Kirby makes use of many weapons and gadgets. He sometimes uses his core abilities, but not as much as he really should. I don't think the Zerbus brothers had much knowledge of Kirby when they were making this, so I think that's why the series comes off as a bit generic at times. They just thought it was funny having Kirby use a gun. But there was a bunch of other gaming characters and references to help make up for that, I guess. The series is made up of 3 episodes and a handful of shorts. The first episode is how Kirby joins the organization, and also stops the smuggling scheme of bringing Xboxes to England. Oh, the horror. The second episode has Kirby going through a stealth mission to rescue a crash-landed alien at his top-secret base. This one isn't really that exciting to me. I don't know, nothing really pops with this episode. There are a few good jokes, but everything else just looks too samey and generic.
Not now, Neil. I gotta go. He hung up on me.
Episode 3 has Kirby team up with Feathers McGraw from Wallace and Gromit. No, actually, this is a completely new character called Ian. Kirby and Ian have to figure out how to get the Hippin' Jippin' gene to stop Professor Oblivion from mixing it with cherry Kool-Aid, creating a deadly gas. Science stuff. Kirby and Ian have this dynamic where Ian is the more mature and competent one who thinks things through. Meanwhile, Kirby is much more straightforward and careless, often being the butt of the joke.
Ian, what are you doing here? I was gonna sit there.
Well, it looks like you're gonna have to sit in the trunk, Kirby.
What? The trunk? Aww. Fine. Stupid Ian, stupid Fox, stupid Neil.
And that's where the series ends, I'm afraid. There was going to be an episode 4, but that ceased production around 2006, with no further updates and the page itself being taken down. It's a real shame too. The series had so much charm to it. The cool early 2000s flash action, the goofy writing, and the jokes to the characters.
Ask him if he wants a pasta. Mario, I'm on the phone.
If you aren't biased against the simple fact of Kirby having a gun, and if blood and stuff doesn't bother you, I recommend checking the series out. You can still watch the episodes on Newgrounds, thank gosh. It's still a fascinating piece of early internet history. That's all I have for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like to be notified about when I upload a new video, click that subscribe button and also click the little bell icon next to it. I'd love to show my video projects to as many people as I can.